know of large donations given to the top six at one stage of 10, 12 million rand checks.
Trouble at the top and trouble at the bottom. ANC-led mobocracy in Sandton, books burned and destroyed. Disgusting behaviour. ANC spokesperson will be in the hot seat. I want to know what they're doing to stop the anarchy and how they'll tackle the bribe allegations. Children trapped under a collapsed walkway, drowning in pit toilets and learning under trees. This is the sorry state of our education infrastructure in South Africa. It is unacceptable. Who's responsible and how do we make our schools safe for our children? Muammar Gaddafi's millions at Nkandla, an explosive allegation. Is it fact or fiction? If it's true, Jacob Zuma could end up in jail and face US sanctions. We explore the possibility of the former president taking money from the Libyan dictator and also find out why the country right now is dissolving into a deeper civil war.
All the Caucasians are on that line. It's called the line of caucus. It runs from Hyde Park through Bryanston, Sandton, so I'm pretty sure you're on the line. Yeah, it's just, you know, we don't live in the townships. We don't need to have load shedding. It's not a suburban thing.
One of the funniest people in the country, teaching us to laugh at ourselves, a great ambassador and lambasted on Twitter. The trolls in this country are particularly vile. We discuss the psychology behind the attacks and ask what makes people think it's okay to be racist, spiteful and threatening on social media. But first, the news headlines. 2 people have been killed in clashes between a group of people and Red Ant security services. The incident occurred in Vereeniging earlier today. The Red Ants were apparently trying to prevent the group from invading land. A resident described what happened.
The problem is about 7 o'clock in the morning. I had a call from my wife. She's telling me the Red Ants were here, what. I had to take a car and rush to her. When I arrived, I saw the Red Ants were full of this place, were fighting the people, were breaking the Zozos down. So by that time, I packed the bakkie there where I was. Yeah. I ran into the Red Ant with my friends.
Yeah.
I ran into the Red Ant with my friends.
Yeah.
What happened by that time is, when they were fighting us back, we had to run back.
Yeah.
By that time, one of the guys we were running with him back, they shot him. They shot him, and that for me seems not like a rubber bullet.
Yeah.
That was a real bullet they shot him with. I had to take him to the bakkie, take him to the clinic here in Resteval Clinic.
Okay, so tell me, how then have you guys come to occupy this land? Help me understand.
You know what, this thing started maybe it's a month
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
We had meetings, we had everything. We were told we have to put in our Zozos here before the end of the month. The people who were in front of this, they told us they gone to the municipality, they had a letter, they have an approved letter that we can stay here. Yeah. Then now all of a sudden where the Red Ant come from or who called the Red Ant, that's what we want to know.
Police have fired rubber bullets to disperse disgruntled Bekkersdal residents. General Fred Kekana says police had no choice because the protest was turning violent. Bekkersdal residents are protesting lack of service delivery, especially electricity. They say discussions with authorities haven't brought them power. The disgruntled residents blocked roads today in protest.
What happened to the community as it's disgruntled and protesting about service delivery issues? The unfortunate part, they blockaded the road, they bent tires, they were disrupting day-to-day lives of the people, and we cannot allow that because despite them having the right to protest, despite them having the right to march, they cannot infringe the rights of other people. That's why we had to clear the roads. Amongst others, unfortunately, as you saw, they throw police with the stones while police are trying to bring order and to ensure that there is easy access for normal day-to-day life for vehicles and people. We had no choice but to use rubber bullets to disperse them so that life can come to normality.
Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba continues to point fingers at the ANC. Mashaba maintains the protests in Alexandra are politically motivated. He's slammed the ANC, saying they've been making false promises to residents. Mashaba is scheduled to visit the area on Monday, despite threats of violent action against him. His visit will come a few days after President Cyril Ramaphosa's visit tomorrow.
That the people behind running this program, these are the people very concerned of what's going to happen on the 8th. Okay. That is why they went all out, every day, buying people to cause mayhem, buying them liquor, food, and everything like that. That is why they're hell-bent on getting me, even they want to disrupt and divert attention from the real issues.
UDM leader Bantu Holomisa faced fierce cross-examination at the PIC inquiry today. Holomisa had to defend allegations he made against two companies, the Basha Investment Group and Harith, when he testified a few weeks ago. During his cross-examination, the Basha Investment Group lawyer Danny Berger accused the UDM leader of using the PIC inquiry for his own political agenda. Holomisa claimed the company unlawfully received funds from the PIC.
You were not subpoenaed to come and testify. You came freely.
Voluntarily, yes.
Yes. Isn't the real issue, your real agenda, is to boost your political agenda at the expense of the dignity and reputation of my clients?
Well, unfortunately, I'm a public representative. And also, I've got a direct interest in the management of the pension funds in this country. So I'm not doing it for self-promotion or whatever, or an agenda. So I take a strong exception in what you are saying.
ANC Secretary-General Ace Magashule is calling on his supporters to desist from acting against Peter Lewis's Maber's book, Gangster State, Unraveling Ace Magashule's Web of Capture. Magashule joined the chorus of condemnation following yesterday's disruption of the book's Santon launch. The ANC has also expressed disgust at the action of its members. It says the Free State Youth League's book-burning event scheduled for Monday will not happen. Meanwhile, the DA promised to lay criminal charges against councillors involved, while the EFF called the disruption thuggery. Deputy President David Mabuza also condemned the move.
Probably it's out of anger and hoping that they are supporting the SG, and this is very wrong. Very wrong.
10 million rand paid to the ANC's top six by Bosasa. Millions more in bribes paid to various senior party officials. These are allegations Angela Agrizzi has made against the ruling party. The ANC said it will apply to cross-examine the former Bosasa COO, but media reports indicate the party will let Agrizzi's explosive testimony go unchallenged. If this is the case, does it imply what Agrizzi said is true? ANC's acting national spokesperson joins me now. Very good to have you with us.
No, thank
are you or are you not going to cross-examine Agrizzi?
No, thank you very much, Madam, for the opportunity and to your management. Look, as the African National Congress, from the preliminary legal advice we had internally, we were intending to leave the matter after Mr. Agrizzi clarified himself on the 29th, after we made an application on the 28th. But from the senior legal counsel of the NC is that the matter of Mr. Agrizzi, including his allegations, are of very serious nature, because our worry is that he made this particular allegation as a third person according to his corrected version. He was not there, but equally is that the amount is not clear, whether it's 8 million, 10 million or 12 million. But thirdly, when you become a third person or a hearsay witness, it means you need to corroborate the evidence of the first or the second, which is not the case. So,
okay, can I just ask what you were thinking, and if you were speaking for the ANC here, when you said this to the Business Day, that Mr. Agrizzi has clarified that these alleged payments to the top six were donations, not bribes. We've received legal advice that there is therefore no need to cross-examine him. So is it just because it's hearsay? Is that what's driving the change of heart now?
Yeah, no, it's, that was our internal processes. But from our legal counsel, senior legal counsel, is that this particular matter of Mr. Agrizzi, it created an impression that ANC received illicit money, and that this has a serious harm on our electoral fortunes, because we will be treated or perceived to be a generally corrupt organization. We accept as the ANC, just like any other political party, that we do get donation from people. You know, even the DA got donation from the Atul Gupta They even wrote him a thank you letter, and other organization, they do. But we don't want to compare.
Are you admitting that the top 6 did indeed receive this money from Bosasa as a donation?
Yes, we are admitting that we received donations from Bosasa, but what becomes very concerned for us is that Mr. Agrizzi speaks as a third party. He needs to corroborate the evidence, either of the first person or the second person, because he's speaking the essay. Because I can make you an example now. If Jane Dutton fights with her husband and somebody next door in the apartment hears you screaming, tell him, Peter, please don't beat me. When that person speaks in court, he needs to corroborate what you will be saying as the first person.
But you have said that they did receive this money.
No, donations, we do receive them as the ANC. It's not the strange
what is it that you're going to be questioning?
What is it that will be, is the motives of Mr. Agrizzi, because his motives are very sensational, because he says this on the eve of elections, but secondly, creates an impression that he was there, when actually he was not there.
It doesn't matter what his motive is if you've agreed that this money has been going to the top 6 and it's been going from Bosasa, and we know what Bosasa has been accused of.
Yes, but you need to know, we got this as a donation. It was not an illicit money. It was not
Bosasa.
From?
Bosasa.
No, we do get from any other business, just like others got also from Bosasa. It's not a strange thing.
But it's not acceptable, knowing what Bosasa has been involved in, that your top high command is taking money from Bosasa.
But you need to know, I'm not an administrator of law and justice. I'm not Deputy Chief Justice Zondo to make that judgment. You need to respect the processes. The commission is underway now. There's still people who need to give their side of the story. There's still a cross-examination that needs to be done. And that's why we want to pursue it on Mr. Agrizzi, because we are of the belief, because Mr. Agrizzi is a self-confessed racist. It means it's somebody who believes in a racial bigotry.
Even the SIU said that they have been involved in tender irregularities, high levels of corruption.
Look, what the SIU says must say it before the commission. We can't speculate what people are saying or implications which are said before the commission. I've said it earlier, as the ANC, even yourself, you are not an administrator of law and justice. You are not Judge Zondo, and you need to respect the processes to allow Judge Zondo to come with the necessary recommendation after assessing the evidence which is presented.
So are you not therefore taking the SIU report as an official report?
Look,
are you disputing the report?
We are not disputing the report. I'm saying we are not administrators of law and justice. The process is before the commission.
We have this information out there.
Yes, as the ANC, we are still going to get a chance to make our representation before the commission. I think for now we are busy with the campaign to get South Africans to vote the African National Congress. Immediately, I'm sure, after the elections, we will get our chance also as the ANC to make our representation, either to refute or accept whatever evidence or implication that has been made against the ANC. But this particular matter of Mr. Agrizzi, because it has a damning harm on the image of the ANC prior to elections, because the impression he has created is that we got illicit money when actually we got a donation.
Okay, so I mean, what is the difference between bribes and donations here?
No, that's why bribes are illicit, you know also. It means you got it through crooked ways. If there is a donation which is presented by the management of a company to an organization, openly so, there's nothing wrong with it, because even all other parties in the country as it is now, they do receive donations from a number of private people. And that particular situation, it does not mean when a company is involved in other things that they do behind the curtain, that we know, just like anybody else, innocently so, we would accept the help when it's necessary, because you know political parties are a not-profit making organization. They don't make profit, they rely on donations, and some of them, like the ANC now...
Ramaphosa, excuse me, jumping in, wants to return the Bosasa donation.
On what?
Isn't that a message that it's wrong?
No. For now, I mean, President Cyril Ramaphosa, I mean, you would know also, his matter is before parliamentary committee, his matter is before the public protector. That particular matter is still going to get a chance of right of reply in the commission. I would not want to comment about it.
I mean,
this
couldn't come at a worse time, could it? I mean, I'd be intrigued to know how you're going to go around your investigation and the cross-examination of Agrizzi, what it is that you're trying to get out of him. But it couldn't come at a worse time, considering that you've got the fallout over the election list as well. What sort of impact is that going to have? I know that Fikile Mbule said that the allegations have really made the ANC's election campaign difficult.
Look, you know, that's why we don't want to treat the allegations that Mr. Agrizzi has made very simple, because They are intended. They have a motive to harm the electoral fortunes of the ANC. And we want to establish facts from fiction, because Mr. Agrizzi is a self-confessed racist. We want to know whether the motive is it based on racial bigotry or is it based on statement of fact, because he's also speaking here as a third person. We need to know whether he's corroborating on a statement of the first or the second person.
He's very reluctant to really tackle those who are behind problems, behind taking money, bringing the party's reputation down. Even on the list, you know, it keeps on getting deferred and delayed and delayed and delayed. So it's not a solid statement, is it?
No, you need to know. As the ANC, we took a resolution at our 54th National Conference to deal with the problems of state capture and corruption. It's a painful process because it needs to be done to our own selves, including our cadres. But we think this will be very good for our country going to the future. An action has been taken, a commission has been established. We are further saying, from the appointment of the NPA head, don't wait for the end of the commission. You can start to act now. That's the directive from President Cyril Ramaphosa in his quest to fight corruption and to ensure that we restore the confidence of the public.
I think South Africans need to see that justice is being done, that it's just not the small man going to court. I was going to ask you, but you showed me the papers, because we spoke to Agrizzi's lawyer. He said an application hadn't been made yet to cross-examine, but these papers indicate that it has been made?
Yes, it has been made. This is the reply we got from the Commission, that we can apply in terms of Rule 3.3.6 to the Commission to make a cross-examination. That's what we did. Now, in terms of Rule 3.3.6, of the Commission, it's only the chair who can grant us that permission. We are still waiting, honorably so, for the chair to do that.
Okay, I'm sure I'll be speaking to you then, possibly as well. Dr. Lachweta, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, madam.
Well, Angelo Agrizzi implicated the ANC's top leaders during his testimony at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. And we are looking forward to the cross-examination that the ANC has promised they will do.
Large donations given to the top six at one stage of 10, 12 million rand checks that were taken there. And it always appeared as if it was just taken there because then there's a meeting. But you're 100% right, Chair. Once the other people see that that company is very proliferant, don't touch it. Don't mess with it. It's working, don't touch it. Because if you touch it, you might lose your job. That's ultimately what it comes down to. And you might lose your power base. And that's what it really was.
Up next, pit latrines, crumbling classrooms and pupils learning under trees. The government is still struggling to provide adequate school infrastructure. Why is the Eastern Cape the worst affected?